In 2019, during the African Energy Forum, that at the time was hosted in Lisbon, Portugal, ATI, alongside our partners, had the opportunity to launch the Transparency 2. The Transparency 2 is an online platform that we hope will make a fundamental difference in how investors, how stakeholders, how guarantors like ATI assess and evaluate the payment risk of national off-takers. How we would do that? The Transparency 2 is a digital platform that allows ATI to keep track of how utilities across the African continent are making payments to independent power producers active within those markets. To give a practical example, and looking at the very first report that was published from the Transparency 2, you look at Malawi with its national power utility, Eskom. Eskom had a tremendously positive payment record to the Ruwendiza power plant, which at the time was the only operational IPP in Malawi. We certainly hope to publish similar reports not only in Malawi, but across the African continent, with one ultimate goal. By bringing greater clarity to how utilities are paying, hopefully we can then lead to greater alignment between the perceived non-payment risk and the actual non-payment risk, which in some countries might actually be positive, as we have seen in Malawi. Outside of Malawi, we are starting to collect payment records in the 6 other countries that have signed the RLSF MOU with ATI. It will take us some time to get there, but we're very confident that by publishing these reports, by making them available to each and every IPP active within that market, with a greater clarity that comes to each and every stakeholder in knowing how often does KPLC pay in Kenya, how often does TANESCO pay its IPPs in Tanzania, how often does ZESCO pay its operational IPPs in Zambia. It will not always be a positive story, but we believe that a lot of African power utilities suffer from a perceived risk that they will not pay on time, and hopefully the Transparency 2 will go somewhere in addressing that knowledge gap.